Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Shouldn't Read. Today I'll be doing my bullet journaling for January. So this video will be kind of a mashup of a bunch of things because for those who have watched my reading stats of 2019 / reading plans for 2020, I mentioned in that video how I'm going to structure my channel at least for the next few months for 2020. So because of that, I'm kind of putting a bunch of things into this one video. So this video essentially has three parts. The first part is going to be a flip through of 2019, so when I first started this bullet journaling in September to December, and the second part is going to be my flip through for 2020 reading spreads, and then finally the third part is my January plan with me. I will include all the timelines down below because I know that some people will be interested only in certain parts of this video, but if you want to watch all of them, you are amazing. By the way though, I'm really excited for how this turned out and hope you will as well. So jumping right into my flip through, starting with September because that is what really matters, and just very quickly going through my monthly spread, my content ideas, subscriber counts, my reading vlogs I did, the only two that I actually really did, my bookstagram tracker, my most anticipated releases, and of course my books I read. Then I have my rest of the year TBR, which I really didn't do much. And then I have October. I actually really like my October theme. It was very Halloween spooky like. And over here you will see that my reading vlogs, after this time all my reading vlog pages became empty because I actually never did it. So yeah, moving along to my readathons that I did. And then next up is November. This was such a cute theme. I love Totoro. Again, another empty reading vlog page. I don't really know what I'm going to do, but I might have to repurpose it somehow. And then finally, my December flip through. This is another favorite of mine. I really like the celestial starry theme. Last readathon of the year, and that's basically it.
Then we're finally at my 2020 reading plans. The first page here is the review, and honestly I love this page so much. I actually got this idea from Books of Chloe. I just love how clear and concise it is. Then the next page I have is my top 20. I haven't really decided which ones yet, but they're there once I figure it out. Then my next page is my ARCs TBR. I actually gave myself an extra 2 pages because I feel like I need the space for it, and that's basically it in terms of my 2020 reading spreads. And now we're at the January plan with me, and for this month I found a very cute, kind of like a springish Eiffel Tower French theme that I kind of went with. I don't know why. It's definitely not suitable for January. It's like a winter month, but for whatever reason I was in the mood for this and I just went with it, and I found this one sticker pack that I had that worked really well, and so I just went with it. I also made the cover page to be very simple. I really didn't want to do too much. Honestly, end of the day, I feel like I end up overdoing my stickers. I don't know, I just like having stickers, and it is what it is, guys. So then this next page is of course my to be read page, and this is just really simple. I basically took the books that I want to read from my TBR for January / February. I already posted that video, so I will link that somewhere above in case you want to check that out. But I am really excited. So far I think I have read 1 out of those books, and it's already mid-January, but it's fine. I will strive through and hopefully read more by the end of February. On that note, what is everyone else planning to read for January? Sometimes with these voiceovers, it's hard to remember that I am actually talking to people and not just talking to myself, but anyways. So for this next spread, I decided to change it up for January. Back in the day, I did a separate tracker page for my Instagram and then one for my YouTube, but I realized that I really just don't do that much content ideas. I do a lot of that on this app that I have, so I decided to just completely remove that and just do all my trackers in one page. So I continued with my month-looking Bookstagram tracker, and then in the bottom there, I included my YouTube tracker. So I think that probably would be the best way. Depending on how this will work, I will continue using this format in the future, but I think this would be a lot better compared to how I was doing my tracking previously. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I also decided to remove my monthly 2-page spread. I liked it and I liked how it looked, but at the end of the day, it wasn't that useful for me, and so I didn't feel like spending time and space to create these 2 spreads that I ultimately did not really use that much. It is a pity because I did really like how they looked, but it just wasn't working for me. Then this next page is of course my favorite, and that is the most anticipated releases. These are books that I am highly anticipating and definitely cannot wait to pick them up as soon as possible. These are also books that I would actually consider purchasing, and I'm so glad it is now 2020 because there are so many books coming out, and I actually have filmed an anticipated releases for 2020, so definitely be on the lookout for that. So are there any books that you are looking forward to in January? Let me know down below. I definitely need some more book recommendations as always. Anyways, moving on to my next page, it is of course my favorite, which is books I read. This is where I keep all of my stats in terms of all the books I read this past month. This includes things like dates read, my rating, what format I read the books in, obviously the books themselves, and this is always the same format. I haven't really changed it because I really like how this turns out, and it's so neat and very easy to read. But anyways, let's just continue watching this. Okay, so we're finally at my last spread, and that is the Smutathon Readathon. And I was actually really excited for this one because this is my first time participating, and the graphic for it was gorgeous. And also at this time when I was filming it, it was actually mid-readathon, so I had already finished some of the books and some of the prompts for this readathon. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I don't think I really passed. I only managed to finish, I think, 3 or 4 challenges, but it was a very chill, laid-back one, so I think that's fine. But overall though, I would definitely join in again next time. I felt like I was reading a lot of books that were outside my comfort zone, or books that I don't usually pick up. Okay, so quickly flipping back to the beginning of January. This is my first page, the January spread, which I really like, to be honest. It's a very simple French-esque vibe. Then I have my to be read page. And then of course my tracker, as well as my most anticipated releases page. Honestly, I'm just hoping I actually do a better job in tracking this time around. And then the last page is really for January is the books I read page. And in addition, I have my Smudathon and Readathon spreads, which I actually really like as well. And that's it.
So that is it in terms of my journaling for January. I definitely cannot wait to continue journaling for this year. I feel like this has been such a good experience in terms of me just structuring the way how I read and how I gather some of my thoughts before planning videos, etc. And I feel like it really helped me in so many different ways. So I definitely want to continue this habit for 2020. So anyways, that's all to say for this video. Let me know down below if you also bullet journal, and if you do, what's your theme for January. If you have any recommendations for me for any future spreads, any theme related, any page related kind of ideas, let me know down below as well. But as always, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.